Okay then, I tried doing this video yesterday, but it failed to upload for whatever reason. I suppose it's just YouTube doing it. Anyway, we'll get into it then. Did a video a couple of days ago about Randy Orton and how he's not the top guy in the company on Raw. Well, in the company at all, let alone on Raw itself. And this will now be a complaint about Raw as a whole. I think people have given this Raw, certainly my mates I've spoken to about it, a couple of people I've seen comments on here about it. People thought it was a poor Raw. I'll try and get in the middle of the camera shot. Is that the right way? I think so. Anyway, yeah, I've seen people complain about it, saying it was a bad Raw. I would say it wasn't a particularly bad Raw. The main event dragged it down, and with the main event going through the entire show, we had Orton, Regal, JBL and Triple H come out at the start. Bang in the middle of the show we had the Triple H versus Orton and JBL. We had Cena come out then, which then meant we had the main event later in the night. So it went through the entire show, and I think because of that it just pulled the show down. It was the first thing you saw, it was bang in the middle, and it was the last thing you saw, and it just, everything in between meant nothing because it dragged it down and it made the show suck. It did. The tag team division is possibly on its way back. You know, we had a couple of tag team matches. I'm not too keen on Carlito and Santino Marella because I think without Maria there is no point in that tag team. I think people would rather see Carlito going off doing his own thing, you know, and seeing if he can be as good as Morrison, as good as Punk, as good as Kennedy, basically everyone he's in the ladder match with. And Santino Marella, I think it's just a funny jobber they can use occasionally, but is a, you know, don't see him as a serious tag team champion really, and I don't think it's a use of Carlito's time. But anyway, the tag team division is back, possibly it could happen. It looks like they're thinking about it. But anyway, so you know, that was good, that went well. The Diva matches, how many were there? Was there only the one, or was there two? I don't know. They weren't awful. Anyway, they weren't like, oh, I'm gonna go for a piss when the Divas are on. Like, it was, you know, it was slightly better than that. It was, you know, an okay Raw. The highlight reel was great. I loved the highlight reel with Michaels and Batista. I loved God, Sean, beat him, please, because he's just, I don't like Batista anyway, and the argument they've given him to back this feud on is BS, and it's like, this is the argument you put on a Triple H Shawn Michaels feud, not Batista. It's like, who's Batista to be in this? They're never going to feud Triple H and Michaels again, rightfully so. I'm like, why are you doing this, Batista? You don't need to. But anyway, they're doing the feud. The match will probably be okay because it's a Shawn Michaels match, and the highlight reel was good. But now then, that's left me 6 minutes 50 seconds to talk about what I did this video to talk about, and that is the main event. So the start of the show, we get Orton coming out, and you know, in the ring with Regal, gonna find out who his opponent is for Backlash. Then we get JBL, and as soon, the second JBL's music hit, you just know I'm gonna see John Cena or Triple H before we go to an advert break. It's a fact. It's gonna happen. JBL comes out. You know, they give us this bullshit that he's the most deserving #1 contender ever. That's basically just to make people hate JBL even more. I think the WWE are confused with the heat that JBL has. He's not getting booed because, oh, he's a heel and he's an arse, boo, don't like him. He's getting booed because people don't want to see him. People are like, we've had enough of JBL now. I still think a lot of people see JBL as the reason why Jericho isn't in the main event, and it's like, oh, because they decided they had to feud JBL and Jericho, and if it wasn't for that, we might see Jericho in the main event feuding for the title. I think a lot of people see him as that, and he's just, I didn't ever think he was that great, and he's not as good as he was when he was a SmackDown champion for like a year. But anyway, so JBL being in the main event, I really don't get. I don't see how that's profitable to the company. But anyway, I don't think he's going to be a draw. But, you know, give Umaga that spot if you're going to, you know. Anyway, so yeah, we got all that, and then Triple H comes out. The only worthwhile part of Triple H being there was when he said, you know, all this guy's done is beat up a midget. And yeah, I found that pretty funny, but still, that was it. That was the only thing he did that was worthwhile in that entire promo. So of course, you know he was going to win. I thought the spot was pretty decent how they did it with him blocking the RKO and knocking the JBL and then getting the pedigree, but it's like, oh wow, now it's JBL, Triple H and Randy Orton. Whoopee. You know, they usually either triple threat or fatal 4-ways the Backlash main event. So you know, you thought there's a decent chance if Triple H managed to worm his way into this match, there's a fairly decent chance John Cena's going to do the same. He comes out, gets the same deal. He got to beat Triple H and JBL. We get the backstage thing with Orton and Regal saying, right, you're going to face me next week in London, England. Oh wow! Just if anyone's wondering if the UK will be backing William Regal in this match, no, we couldn't care less. Anyway, so yeah, that's next week to look forward to. But we then get JBL going back to Cena, going back to Triple H and all this crap, whatever. We get the match, and you know, like I said, the amount of backstage things they did. You know, JBL went to see Orton, JBL went to see Triple H, Orton went to see Regal. All the stuff that happened in the ring. How much of this show did the main event take up? You know, they're only on TV for like an hour and a half, and they or something like that. If you take out the adverts, or I don't know, maybe more. But like, how much of the show did they take up? And they are bullshit. Anyway, so we get the main event, and Orton's at ringside, which, you know, is fair enough, I suppose. He doesn't want to fatal 4-way, so I can understand why he's there. But then we get this garbage of how it finished. You know, they get checked on the outside, and you just think, you know, when JBL and Triple H turn on each other, they get checked on the outside and think, oh, there you go, Cena's going to win on a count out. But no, they get back in the ring, and like, JBL gets checked, or JBL gets RKO'd, and then Cena checks Orton out the ring, pins JBL. Triple H is standing on the ring apron watching this. It's not as if JBL threw him out the ring, got RKO'd, Orton got thrown out the ring. Triple H is standing there, could have quite easily stopped the cover and didn't. So I'm sorry, that's just ruined half the point of this feud, that they all want the #1 contendership and they've been forced into this fatal 4-way. No. Triple H stood there and watched him pin him 1, 2, 3. Could have got there, didn't. And obviously, I'm aware wrestling scripting, he wasn't supposed to break up the cover, obviously. But script it so that the guy is on the floor and couldn't have stopped it. But anyway, so yeah, there's a little complaint about that. The only saving grace, in my opinion, for this feud is the fact that Triple H at the start of the show said to Orton, yeah, what was that big move you beat John Cena with? You know, so now maybe we will get this, that John Cena, Randy Orton, sorry, you know, because he didn't win cleanly at WrestleMania, this feud is going to be about him proving himself to be a legitimate world champion, and he can beat these guys. Maybe. But it's like, John Cena is painfully stale. He's been painfully stale for a long time. I said in the other video, I don't think he's that bad in the ring. He's just stale. Triple H is awfully stale. And now give us JBL, who no one wants to see. And it's like, I don't know if this is, you know, we all hear about Triple H being a backstage politician. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of truth to it. So anyone who bitches about John Cena, yes, he is painfully stale. No, he is not the worst wrestler in the world. And for the love of God, if you don't like the Raw main event, don't blame Cena, blame Triple H. Because where's Shelton Benjamin right now? He's on ECW as a mid-carder. Where's Kurt Angle, who Triple H apparently said was too small to make it in this business? He's in another company. Booker T is another one. Where's Rob Van Dam? He's not in the company anymore. And it's not only that, you know, Kennedy, what happened to Kennedy? He was Mr. Money in the Bank. Nothing. I'm not saying that had anything to do with Triple H. That's just a general bitch about the WWE's policy of bringing guys through and giving them the main event spot. I've questioned this before. Does WWE have the balls to give the ball to these guys and let them run with it? CM Punk is maybe going to get the ball now in about 6 months when he cashes in the Money in the Bank. But when they do this, are they going to let him have the WWE World title? Are they going to let him have a decent run? Are they going to let him beat Triple H? Are they going to let him beat Cena? Probably not. You know, he'll probably lose the title the first time he gets Triple H or Cena. But anyway, I've run out of time. This actually turned into a rant. But, yeah, it's just my thoughts on the Raw main event. Cheers.